Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in. We are moving up with the edutainment series. I am so grateful for all the support on my previous videos. Thank you guys so much. The positive engagement, the comments, and I'm just very happy to know that people are actually taking something away from the content I'm trying to put forward and that it's helping people. Your questions are always welcome. You can DM me, you can leave a comment, you can contact me however you wish to contact me. People even ask for my number from people that I do speak to. I definitely don't mind. Sometimes I take longer to reply to a DM, but if you can get a hold of my number and give me a call or text me, definitely do that. I am here for you, right? Today's video is a topic that I have actually experienced myself. What to do when you feel like you don't quite like what you're studying. This usually happens during your undergrad when you're fresh out of varsity, new to university and studying something, then you feel like, oh, maybe this doesn't resonate with me, maybe I should be doing something else. So I will be discussing the options when you start to experience those kind of feelings. Before we get into this video, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. It is free, and give this video a thumbs up because you are definitely going to take something away, especially if you are currently in this position. So let's get straight into this video. I'm going to be discussing with you the three options that you can sort of explore. So the first option is dropping out. The second option is changing courses. And the third option is sticking it out. So I'm going to elaborate on each one of these points, the pros and cons, and actually how to go about whatever route you end up deciding to take. Dropping out is really not an option that I would condone, right? Because if you're already in an institution like university or college, that means you've considered studying and you know that you wanted that to be the next step after high school. So dropping out doesn't really make sense to me from where I'm sitting, because as much as people do have talents and people might want to pursue their own businesses and things like that, but I just am not on this platform to tell people to drop out of school, because the whole point of this platform is edutainment. So if you have dropped out and you're successful, congratulations, but if you have dropped out and maybe you're not that successful, it's never too late to come back to school. And I'm a firm believer in just having security. So even if you're a person who's into the arts, I would always encourage even my friends to say, do something like teaching that will allow you to work and earn a steady income, and then do freelance work and go for auditions and stuff to try and get into that industry. Always have an education, to fall back on, have a qualification that will, whatever happens in life, you at least have that you can apply for jobs in a certain field where you do have the understanding or the knowledge and expertise. So ukudrophatha nje ngiyaxolisa guys, angeke ngize ngixoxele ukuthi kumele nenze njani if you find yourself in that situation. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. The second option is changing courses. So there is something called a change of mind form, I am aware, in undergrad. So if you have maybe started studying something and you've changed your mind maybe after the first semester, and you realize that you're not doing well, or you're really struggling, or you really don't like this, or you found something else that you really want to do, then you can fill out that form and see if you can get credited for certain modules in your first semester, and then change from your second semester or from the following year. So I would always encourage a person who's changing courses to actually look at, first and foremost, what is the least wasteful option. So if you're doing engineering maybe first year and you want to maybe change from one stream of engineering, say civil engineering, to mechanical engineering, then you will get credited for those modules. So it's not time wasted. Unlike going maybe from engineering and then now you want to do something like accounting, or geology, or something else that just has other courses that you won't get credited for the courses that you would have done. I don't advocate as well for wasting resources. So before you change, try and see what are your options that are around you. For instance, when I was doing geology and I didn't like it, I used to also do courses in environmental sciences, and I thought, you know what, environmental management might be something that I could do, and that didn't require me to start from scratch. I would have gotten credited for the first 2 years of my geology degree and just majored in environmental sciences on my third year, which would have worked out all the same, and I wouldn't have wasted any years. I did not end up doing that for some reason. I think there were clashes in the timetable or something like that. So I ended up just sticking it out and finishing, and now I'm here. So the best advice I've actually ever received was from my aunt. She told me to just finish what you start. I did not like geology during the first year, even during the second year. I was like, I still don't want to be here. And I was telling her that I want to change, I want to do pharmacy. But even with whatever I wanted to change into, who's to say that I was going to love pharmacy? When I changed at that age, I was like, what, 18, 19? Who's to say that I was going to love the degree that I'm changing into? Honestly, when you are still in high school getting into varsity, you really don't know much. You don't know much about varsity. You don't know much about careers. You don't know much about whatever is going to happen with the rest of your life, right? So changing from one thing because you don't like it, like over that feeling, and then wanting to go into something else that you don't actually know for sure whether you are actually going to like that. So I just think you need to really weigh your options. And you know, even in high school, one thing you can take away from my experience is to actually do your research about what it is that you are going to be studying. So when I went into geology, I didn't actually know that geology was a study of rocks. I thought it was something like geography, you know? But I was in for a shock because it is definitely nothing like I had ever imagined even exists. So you do your research, right? You Google the course you've been accepted for, maybe your first option, second option, third option. Look at the modules that are actually being taught. Do I like this? If there's math, if there's physics, maybe physics is not your strength, and maybe there's something else that has a course outline that seems to be exciting to you, or at least aligned with your strengths. So definitely do your research. Don't wait for the surprise of your first couple of lectures like I did, because you know it will never end well. Maybe had I done my research beforehand, I would have realized that, you know what, I don't know what geology is, or I would have also maybe prepared myself for what geology is, just to have a better idea and not be so shocked when I actually am already in there and I've accepted and signed and did everything to be in that course, right? So do your research and try to minimize the wasting of resources, because your undergrad is essentially to help develop your thinking. I don't think even companies that hire you, there are a lot of people, I want to say, who are practicing in different industries than what they graduated in undergrad. Like, you get lawyers who are in property, you get geologists who are in like maybe accounting, you get people with undergraduate degrees that are completely unrelated to the careers that they end up pursuing, because your application is more so about like your strengths as an individual, and it helps to prove that, okay, I have a bachelor's degree that shows that you are a person who is competent and able to understand and apply and, you know, research, you know, the basic things. That is what your undergrad is supposed to teach you. So you can always do a postgraduate diploma to maybe focus or focus or specialize in something that you have decided, okay, I want to actually do this. So those options are not completely ignoring your undergrad degree, but developing it or adding on to that. So I would always just encourage you to consider all of those things, but everybody's case is different. So I would also add that you ask your adults, the same way I got advice from my aunt, which is somebody that I trusted, and I trust her opinion, and I still think the advice she gave me all those years ago is the best advice, because I love how my academic career is developing, and I also love where I've found myself today. So you ask your elders, you ask your friends, and you also try to contact people who are in the career fields that you maybe think you want to go into. Or maybe if I didn't like geology, I did try to speak to other geologists in the field, and people gave me like, you know, that spark of positivity to say, so and so is a geologist, they're doing so well, you want to hear those success stories of people and maybe motivate yourself or associate yourself with those people to also realize that, you know, I'm not doomed being in this profession. Actually, no profession is doomed. People find success in various career fields. So how bad could it really be? I honestly want to say that maybe because I come from a background of being not rich. So unless you're rich and you can change this and study something else and decide you don't like it overnight, or you decide to drop out and, you know, trust fund babies and nice life problems, if that's the situation, then I guess it's not a detrimental consequence to changing your mind all the time. But for the rest of us, changing your mind can sometimes have consequences that you cannot turn back. It is time wasted, it is resources wasted, and the sooner you get on with your life and get your academic career going, secure your first degree, look at where you're going to work, or look at what you want to study into further, the sooner you start doing those things, the better for actually the outcome of your entire life. So I do hope this video has been helpful. If there's anything else that you wish to add, do leave a comment, and also give this video a thumbs up, and do subscribe to my channel. As I have said, thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye.